Hello and welcome on this video about how to install HOPEX for a standalone deployment for developers. First, let's make sure that you had access to the documentation about the HOPEX technological stack, where you'll find all the architecture and prerequisites, and also access to the installation detailed deployments that will also be covered in this video. In the different scenarios of deployment and installation, this video will only cover the scenario of a single laptop installation. Other deployments will be covered in other videos. We will also assume in this video that you have already installed the prerequisites, meaning that you have already installed the .NET Core and .NET Framework requirements, the Microsoft C++ redistributable, and that you already have an up and running SQL Server 2019. Just ensure in your Windows 10 configuration that you have those components in the install program and features. Let's have a look at the step of the installation. First, we are going to download from the HOPEX store the setup. Then we're going to install the HAS Instance Manager, and from the web interface of the Instance Manager, we are going to create an HAS instance. Make sure before you proceed that you have a must license valid to run HOPEX. Let's have a look at the demo. Go to store.mega.com to download HOPEX. First, log in with your work email. If this is your first time here, just click Forgot Password to receive a link to set a password. Just log in and then click Discover HOPEX. From there, you can download the latest installer. You can now then launch this setup and accept the license. You will be prompted to input an installation key. This is a prerequisite to proceed to the next step. Go back to the store, go to My Profile, and copy your personal unique installation key. Do not share this key with other individual or other organization. Go back then to the setup, paste this installation key, and you'll be able to select the version of HOPEX. Depending on your installation key, you'll be able to select the appropriate version. We're going to select the official V5 release here. Then we'll proceed to the next step and click Start Download. In some situation, you may limit the download to the HAS Instance Manager only. Watch the other video for such a situation. We're going to start the download of the module. This may take a while, depending on your bandwidth. The download is now finished. You can proceed to the next steps. In some situation, you may want to create an offline package. Please watch the video accordingly for this use case. We're going to now deploy the Instance Manager. The Instance Manager is secured by a unique API key or password that you set at installation. So we're going to set this password here. Just confirm twice the password. Make sure it's complex enough. Should you want to change the default location of the folder, just go to Advanced. Please make sure that you select the appropriate mode for the deployments if you are deploying in production, in development, in staging, or in a training environment. The behavior of the application might be different depending on the selection. Proceed to the next step. The Instance Manager is being installed, a Windows service is being created, and the files are being deployed under C program file. This is the default location for the Instance Manager. Another location is being created for the instance under the program data. Once ready, you can proceed to the next steps. And you can then launch the Instance Manager. The setup is now finished, so you can close it. Enter the Instance Manager and use the password that you have set up during the installation. It's now time to create a new instance. Click Create. In this scenario, we will not use IIS as a front, so we can leave the default public address that is set by the instance manager, which is usually the name of the machine under port 5000. Make sure that your laptop does not block this port, otherwise it will not work. We assumed here that we already have a database connection, so we're going to use my current installation of SQL. And I'm going to use my password for this user, and I'm going to use an SA account. We recommend you to leave the enable HTTPS and leave blank those sections for a single laptop developer deployment. In the settings, you need here to put the license path of your must file. In my case, my license here is located in that shared path. This is the path that has been set in the license that you have defined. You can also define a by default admin password here, or you will be able to set it up afterwards. You can directly add complementary modules. In a scenario where you are in a single laptop deployment, you can leverage package that contain database that can be directly imported into HOPEX. This is what we are going to do here, and we're going to use the backup demo, and we're going to take this backup as a mean to set up our default environment. The interest here is that it contains already demo data to do a test with the product. Should you want to add additional modules, you can select them by their ID and take the appropriate version. This will be the package of the module that will be installed by default. If you want, you can change the cluster name. That will be the name given to the database for HAS. In that example, I will leave it as is. Then I will start the instance. The process is now starting and the components are being deployed. While the process is in progress, you can view the steps by clicking the URL and see what is the current status. Because I added additional modules, they are being downloaded from the store, particularly the backup.demo that was not part of the initial setup, and will be deployed. This may take a while depending on your bandwidth. When the download and installation is finished, you will access the portal where you should see the HAS console and the HOPEX web frontend. If you see only the console, it means that something went wrong in the deployment of the backup and the modules. If you want to know what went wrong, or if everything is successful, access the detail, you can click the HAS console and log in with admin. The default password, if you have not set any password in the HAS instance manager, is HOPEX with a capital H. Just sign in and you'll be prompted to fill the new password. You are now able to connect with this new password. You can see that all the modules are up and running. You are now good to go to use HOPEX. Just to understand what happened behind the scene, because you selected the module HOPEX Database Backup Demo, the system has uploaded in SQL Server the backup and restored an environment in HOPEX. Here we are going to look at the SQL Server installation to see what happens from the database point of view. Remember the prerequisite, we had an SQL 2019 installed. So here the system has installed the HAS database and it has named it HAS_5000. Remember the cluster name was the default number of the port. And it has imported the systemdb and demo backup from the module that I have selected. You can have a look also what happened from the administration.exe point of view. So you can find that in the program data folder. Open a Windows Explorer, go to program data. If it's not visible, just click view and click hidden items. Get inside, go into the folder mega. you will find the HOPEX application server folder, and you will find a set of files. The HAS instance manager config file, this is where the option that you set up during the setup has been placed. The 5000 instance that you've just created, and the database backup that was imported automatically. If you look at the 5000 instance, you will find the desktop component of HOPEX for administration.exe and HOPEX. You can launch the administration.exe and see that there was an environment that has been referenced and that there was also some repository that was referenced, the demo in that case. If you did not select any module, additional module for demo starter, you can here choose to create a new environment or create a reference of an environment that exists. You are now good to go to connect to HOPEX and use HOPEX. Thank you for watching.